Hi everyone, it's Eddie here. I am Eddie Makes Art, and today I am gonna play around with my newest designs, video game style 1 and 2. Now, you have probably seen the launch video, and that was just a video of me creating two simple yet really stunning prints using my two new stencils. And then today I'm going to show you how I use them to go over prints that I've already done that may need a little something on them. So that's what I'm going to do today. And here they are. They don't have the style numbers on them at this stage, but when you go on the website at pmartiststudio.com, you will see that they're listed style 1 and style 2. And they come in the 3 sizes, which is 5x7, 8x10, and 9x12. I have here the 9x12s, the larger ones. These are the 5x7s. So sometimes when PM Artist Studio creates their stencils, or they, put to, what's a better way to say this? Produce the stencil, from a designer. Oftentimes the design will get smaller as the size of the stencil gets smaller. Now, what Mariah did over at PM Artist Studio is brilliant, is that she created the 5x7s using a large version of a portion of the pattern on the original design that I sent her. So props to Mariah. Great job on these. These are wonderful. So yeah, definitely worth having the larger ones too. It's a totally different look. All right, so we got these two here. Let's just start with the one on the top. Some of these you've seen me do on previous videos. There might be a couple in there that have not been done on a video, but whatever, it's all good. I would think on this one, it's got the small square pattern there. Let's use this larger one here. Let's use the larger one. And color. What are we thinking for color? And that's more important too, as far as what we're doing today is, kind of like figuring out what colors are going to go best layered. Now, instinctively, I'm going to go, oh, blue, to kind of match with the squares, but you might lose that, right? There's some like sort of yellowish stuff in there, definitely something shiny. But my leaning is I want to just kind of do something out of the box, and I'm eyeing this mauve, or mauve, however you want to pronounce it, colored paint here. This is Lucas Krill. So let's do some of that, okay? Let's lay this down. Today I'm using my large 12x14 plate. I want to get a piece of 8.5x11 paper under here so I know where to put my paint. Okay. Now, if I need more, I'll add more. I think this is okay for now. I'm not looking for a super thick layer. And this is, I believe, semi-transparent, or is this transparent? It's semi-transparent, and this plate has just been conditioned, so there is, I didn't put enough paint, so it's starting to create those cell marks, which is okie dokie. I want to smooth this out a little better, get it nice and even. Good. I apologize, this piece of plexi is warped and I don't know why. I'm trying to line this up. My plate did move a little bit, but I think we're okay. Closest thing I've got, this is the medical exam paper here. I use that to clean up my edges. let's get this nice and smooth. Actually, let me just let that sit there for a minute. I'm gonna clean my Baron here, or my brayer. Isn't that cool? Love that. Oh, that's so fun. All right, so see what I mean? The blue, I think, would have been just too dark. So this purple, or this what's a shade of purple, I guess, reddish purple, really just spot on. Wonderful. All right. One down. What's there? Well, let's pick it up with something else. Let's just start a new piece of paper. I don't think there's going to be enough there to like really make an impact. So I'm just going to pick it up on some of this tissue paper here and maybe start, not tissue, medical exam paper, and just maybe just start building up a funky print. Wow, that stayed behind. So you know what? We might be able to get a print out of that. So let's just go ahead and do something with this. Let's add a color over that. Let's try this iridescent graphite. I don't use this enough. I mean, I used to use it a bit, and it's just, you know, you forget about certain colors, right? There we go. So it's fun noise. And it's not it says it's an opaque color, but it's really I'd say semi-opaque. So I don't think this will need that much time to sit on the plate to get up. Oh, you're gonna be a pain in my butt today, aren't you? Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll get my revenge. All right, let me get a nice amount of contact here so that we can get as much of that design up. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, that's really cool. That is very cool. I like that. Nice. This one I did as an ombre. I didn't like how it turned out necessarily. So I think this is a good opportunity to see if we can redeem ourselves here. So let's see here. Put this style down. Nice. Notice I put the clean side down that way, or the unpainted side down, so that it sticks better to the plate. I'm gonna go with blue. I am gonna go with blue. This is indigo. It is it says opaque on here, so. And that's fine. I think that should be okay. Make sure I get enough paint on there. A little extra there. You may be able to get 2 prints for the price of 1 layer of paint here. Get this one down. one here. And for number 2, let's do this one. Okay, now for this one, I will need my tissue here. I'll go over this with my Baron. So if you work quick enough, you can get this done. But you have to think about it. You have to like kind of plan for it. As you noticed, I kind of planned for it. I put a little extra paint down, and I made sure I had everything ready. Is one of the important things to learn when you're gel printing is timing of things, And there's a lot of factors to consider, but I love how that turned out. That is so much better than it was before. So much better. Again, that was the indigo paint. It's a Lucas Krill. Brea. Got more of the design there. Kind of a turtle, sort of like a turtle shell almost design. So yeah, try and get some of that off the brayer. Because otherwise, if I choose like a yellow or something lighter, it's going to mix in there. I don't know if I want that necessarily. Ooh, look at that. Yes. So I took that super bright orange print and pulled it back with a nice layer of the indigo. How great is that? All right, so this one, I'm gonna go ahead, just let that dry. I'll get my other plate, which I think has, plate is the best for what we want. I need at least my 9x12. All right, this has some gold bits on it, and that is just fine. Let's get, see, maybe this one. So for this one, what shall we do with this one? I don't know exactly why, but the permanent rose is screaming at me. So I'm going to get some of that down. Yes, this is Permanent Rose by Winsor Newton Galleria Acrylics. A very, very wonderful pink color. It's not really pink. It's like a very dark pink, but it's a nice transparent paint as well. The reveal, I love doing that. You pull up the stencil, reveal the design. So this won't be down on the plate that long, so I'm not expecting any of that stuff that was on the plate already to come up. However, if I were to leave this down for, to dry completely, yeah, some of that might come up and it might be cool. I don't know if I'm going to get any of that at this moment because I'm going to I'm not going to let this sit and dry. I'm going to, do a little of this, a little of that, and then pull it. I wasn't sure, but I like it. It toned it down a little bit because there was a lot of stuff going on as far as like design and stuff. So the permanent rose kind of pushed that to the back, chilled it out, and it became more of a background, if that makes sense. I like it. I like it. What's here? Look at those little puckers and stuff. That's some goodies. Let's see if I can get some of this here. And it doesn't dry quickly, this particular paint here. It's always very nice. Yeah, see, it didn't get we didn't get down far enough to the plate to get to those bits on there. So that is okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay, kids, we're back. Let's continue. Hey, don't put that on there. That's wet, Eddie. Okay, so I have this print that I did. This was not on camera. I did this when I was testing out my new foam stamps that are now available at Viewmar Studio. So let's think about this one. I think for this one, I want to use my larger stencil design, or the 5x7, smaller stencil, larger design. I thought that would be fun on here. Because I can certainly place these together on the plate, add my paint. I think that'll be cool. What color, though, are we going to put onto our bright red print here? I think this was actually permanent rose that I used on here. Either permanent rose or the carmine. I don't know. But there's little gold flecks in there, too. All right, so if I were to go yellow, it'd have to be a very opaque yellow. But there's already yellow in here. A green would make it, the red would kind of turn it, make it go brown. Let's see, I'm kind of looking through colors here. I have an orange. No, that's just too much. There's this Arctic, which is a blue, but no. I'm going to try this. This is a yellowish green. Let's try that. Oh, before I go over this with paint, look at that. I was doing some stuff the other night. Actually, this is when I was doing the video for the launch of this video game stencil. And look at that. How cool is that? I didn't use it for like 3 days, so I could show you. This is going to be a little too transparent, I think. I might have to not use this particular print right now because I think the screen's just going to be a little too pale or transparent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find myself another print to go over this with. Here, we're going to do it onto this print here. Not, again, not the choice I would have made for this, but I think we're just going to, instead of wasting, we're just going to do it. Although, you know what, I think it'd be easier if I flip this onto the print so I can see what I'm doing. Come on. Not bad. See? Much better. Okay. Good save, Eddie. Good save. I gotta think about that yellow or that red. No. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Oh, that's lovely. That's nice. Very good. And it's perfect against the small pop dots there in the background. Right, so first let me clean my brayer here. I'm going to set you to the side. I'm going to bring back this large one here. It has the indigo. Let's get some of this paint off onto here. Let's see if we can create something cool. All right, there's still some paint on there. We'll just let that dry. And we need a color to go over this, and I'm gonna pull a print from that. So for this, I think we keep it simple. Let's choose this fern color. This one. It is Fern 4752. It's from Lucas Krill. All right, nicely done. This one I'll let sit there. Probably turn out to be a really cool print. Now, as I was doing that, I was thinking, I'm gonna try the teal. I have that, or was it turquoise? From the Golden Fluid Acrylic Turquoise. What do we think? All right, this has to sit and dry. I'm gonna allow this to dry. I'll be back when it's all done. All right, I think this is dried long enough. It's been sitting here for about 15 minutes. Let's see. Yeah. See, look at that. Did get a really nice print out of that. I like it. Got that subtle, larger print in the back. That's very nice. Okay. We're moving and grooving, aren't we? So let's get these two stencils down again. I apologize if anything's crooked, but it is what it is right now. I don't want to overwork this. It's a fluid acrylic, and when you overwork it, it just starts to pull back up onto the brayer. And that's just a waste of paint, isn't it? Okay. Very good. It's down. Down for the count. All right. It's a done deal. Let's let that dry for a minute. I'm gonna get me a transfer off of these. Ooh, very nice. Love that because it starts to pull the paint off the stencil too. Where are we here? There we go. too bad, not too bad. Clean off the brayer on the edges. You know what? Can't really tell it. It's the teal or the turquoise. But I like it. I really do like it. Probably could have done this with black, but what are you gonna do? It is what it is, right? Okay. So what do we have left for France? Let's do one more. I'm gonna do one more. It's gonna be this one. This one I did off camera, but it was I was doing some stamping with black acrylic and my new stamp, The Wind here. And so I had this little bit left over on my brayer. I did a layer of it on the gel plate. And then I added a layer of this stuff called, come here, where are you? What's it called? Fluorescent Reflex White. I did an isolation layer of that, and then I pulled it with some yellow and got this. It's interesting. It's not like super shiny, but it's got a little shiny thing going on. So I thought this might be a good candidate for one of the larger ones. Let's see here. I think that one. That's the one we want. And for this one, color-wise, you know. Yeah, we're gonna do the aqua. I don't know, I'm just feeling a little aqua-ish. Aqua-ish. Come on, get yourself situated. Stencil down, get some paint down. Someone made a comment on the last video about how they appreciate that I'm not a paint snob, and no, I'm not a paint snob, and I appreciate that you noticed that, because I don't want anybody watching to feel like they have to have, you know, the latest, the greatest, the most expensive thing on the block. It's not necessary. That's not what art's about. You know, when you get to a certain level, yeah. But I'm not making stuff for museums. I'm making stuff that makes me feel good, that makes other people feel good, that I can use and create, you know, even more beautiful things. So, you know, I use what I have, and I think that's a great way of approaching art. You know, because you got to start out somewhere. And I think it's important to see the beauty of what's around you, what's available to you, and not necessarily what you want or what you think you should have. I think you have to start, you know, in the immediate area, and then as you grow and you hone your craft or your style, then branch, you know, then you go further out, and then, you know, you get further into those, I guess, higher end, you know, sort of products and tools. You know, that's, I think, a natural progression. If you have the means, go for it. Start out with the really good stuff. Not something I would do, but, you know, if you can, why not, right? Let's see here. Where is, there we are. I keep looking for this, and it's like literally right here next to me. Yes, that is a cool effect too. Spiraling wind, and then the static repetitive dots or in half circles. That's great. I love that. All right, so what's left here. Let's see if I can. I think that was the last print, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'll probably pick it up. Maybe I'll throw it in at the last part of the video like I do with the other prints. But yeah, I think that's it, because do I have anything? No, that's it. Yeah, the other plate, that's good. So yeah, thank you guys. I hope you check out my newest designs over at pmartiststudio.com. These are called Video Game Style 1 and 2. They come in 3 sizes, 5x7, 8x10, and 9x12. And this is the 5x7. It's a larger version of the design in a smaller stencil. Haha. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's the easiest and freest thing you can do to help me out. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.